So all these companies who didn't have a website, no, so I don't want you to applaud to this. So when I sent all of them an email telling that I want to import your automobile components, can I have a look at your website? So all these companies who didn't have a website, you have to reply back, I'm sorry, Michael, we don't have a website right now, but we'll send you our information about our company as attachment to this email. From Michael's mail account, I again replied telling that if you don't have a website, you don't meet my supplier standards, so we don't work with your company. And so I wanted all of them to face my rejection if they don't have a website. And after a few days, I sent an email in my own name telling that, so my name is Suhas Gopinath, I head this company and I wanted to know if you're interested to build a website. So all these companies were like, okay, we lost an opportunity from somebody called Michael because we didn't have websites, so I want to build a website. We used to build about 5 websites every month. We started to build 50 websites every month. From 40 employees, we went up to 100 employees. Obviously, when sales increase, you increase the headcount. But you know what the most interesting part with this whole experience was? It was the fact that when I faced rejection also, I used to have sleepless nights or I used to have uncomfortable sleep. After making sales, after making money, after increasing the organization, I still used to have the same thing. You know why? So somewhere I used to feel that, okay, it probably I've done something which is outside the ethical fiber, or I've stepped out of my ethics where you opened a fake email account and send them a pseudo email. So I felt that, okay, I can't bear this anymore, and I thought I'll send all of them an email telling that, hey guys, my apologies, I was the same guy who had sent you an email with the name of Michael with an intent to make you understand how important the website is, because even while you are sleeping, you can expect somebody to look at your company's services and products. That was the only intent, and I sent this fake email to make you understand how important it is for you to have a website. If it has caused you any inconvenience, I'm happy to build the website for you for free of cost, and I apologize. So some of the American companies appreciated it. They were happy about the fact that I was honest, and they told, okay, so from now on, we'll be your advertisers, so we'll help you to increase your sales. So some of the very few American companies who'd want to engage lawyers and who'd want to send legal notices. They're very interested actually to see you, and some of the American companies felt very uncomfortable the fact that I had sent this. So they actually sent an email that we're very upset, so we'll send you a legal notice. And honestly, I was very afraid. But when I spoke to Shubdev, he told, so as with you, at least you accepted that you had done a mistake, and you had sent all of them an apology email, which is excellent. If you had not sent, they wouldn't have known. And the best part he told me was, the best part is you're still under 18, which means that according to US laws, you're exempted from all the exemptions. So there's also one advantage when you start very young. So apart from this, I always felt, and even from my father as well, and even when I had met Bill Gates as well. So something when I was speaking to Bill Gates, as you saw, as Indians, one of the weakness that we have, at least majority of us, including me, is that we are very introvert, which means that if you find somebody in the airport, or you fairly would recognize his name, it's very few of us who'd make the first step and who'd interact with him, introduce yourself, make the first handshake. Because we always feel that, okay, I mean, he can come to me and speak, or else if he feels bad, if he feels offended, if he tells no. So we start worrying of all these things. Even I was like that. I don't remember in my school days if I've ever actually walked into a stage and if I ever spoke. So I was invited in the World Economic Forum, and we had Mr. Bill Gates also as a speaker, and I was attending his speech, and after his speech, he had bodyguards everywhere. So after his speech, he immediately went to the washroom, and I knew that it's impossible to meet him, because unless you've not got an appointment with Bill Gates, it's impossible for you to meet him. I mean, he or his team wouldn't entertain you. And the best part was he went to the washroom that was in the same building. So when somebody is using a public washroom, I mean, of course, you can't be stopped. So even I went to the washroom itself. And I waited for him to finish his job, and as soon as he was back, I I introduced myself and I told I'm absolutely inspired to meet you here. Of course, I'm sorry to meet you inside a washroom, but at least I wanted to meet you and I wanted to speak to you. And he was very impressed and he told, okay, so you don't have to meet me inside the washroom. You can wait outside. In 15 minutes, I'll meet you outside and we can spend some time. He spent out 15 minutes. And one of the amazing statement he made was that it's very important to have success, but it's more important to have sustainable success. So we've seen incidents of entrepreneurs, including Satyam and other instances like Enron and others, where they've achieved success, but you would have a fallback on the success if the success is not got the foundation of ethics and values. So it's very important that having sustainable success. So that's exactly what you're telling, that it's very important that if you're number one, always to remain number one. And it have to, the sustenance has to be there. And the second thing is success has no full stop. If somebody tells it, hey, okay, he is successful or he is first rank holder, it's not a stamp on him telling that all his life he'll be successful or he is always a rank holder. You need to understand that it's an evolving process and it can never have full stop that, or it's not a stamp telling that you'll always be successful. So we need to always understand that we have to be always modest to make sure that I should realize ourselves that it's an evolving process. And the last statement he made, which I remember every day when I wake up, was he made the statement that the past is a thief. If you allow it, it will steal your future and the present. So always remember, I mean, unfortunately, as youth, we always start worrying about incidents that's always happened to us in the past. Okay, I failed in my last semester exam, so how do I perform? I was rejected in this interview, so will I perform well? So it's very important that we're not so worried about the incidents that has happened to us in the past. So with this experience, we as an organization, we started building websites. We started to build software applications to hedge funds and banking. And so at the moment we focus on big data and we focus on analytics. As an organization, we've evolved. So some things which I wanted to share with you was